Hello, how you doing? This is my budget. First of all, before I get started, I want to read something to you. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Okay, now let's begin with the budget. First of all, when you start doing the budget, you need to download it. When you download the budget, you may get this protection view. Basically, what this does is you cannot edit it, you can't edit anything. Because if you highlight it and hit delete, nothing happens. What you have to do, enable editing, and then when you do that, you can actually delete it. So when you download the program from the internet, if that comes up, now you know how to correct it. Don't save. Okay, now the beginning of the budget. This is the summary page. And the summary page is a quick, easy reference and what you got to do, or what the information you have put into it. As you can see, bank, you got checking, savings, and funds. Loan, you got home loan, car loan, and school. You can change the names. If everything that's in gold, it's okay to change. Everything else is linked to something else. Then you got totals. Oh, you got credit card 1, credit card 2. Then you got totals, indebtedness, savings, and total. And then you got money I can spend. I paid in interest. It's all these and all those. And this is the total of interest. And what I like about this area right here, if you want to track some of your money on what you're spending it on, you can change the names. I got 6 areas where you can actually, track your money. Now this is a summary page. So if you want to change anything in gold, you can. It won't hurt. For example, if you don't have a home you can rent, you put that to rent. And the biggest one I want to let you guys know about is this section right here. It says type. Type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now these are linked to other pages. Let's say you wanted to track your gas money that you spend on your car. Car, gas. Okay. Now when you do that, now if you go to checking, number 1, car gas. Credit card, number 1 is car gas. Credit card 2, car gas. See, all these are linked together so you don't have to type it. And it all goes right to the summary page. Okay. Now, income. You have 2 types of income. You got gross income, that is before taxes, and your net income that's the actual you get paid. And this is, like I said, this is a generic budget. So what you do, since this is in gold and this is in blue down here, if it's like my pay, wife's pay, it automatically changes, as you can see. And I put it in tithes, so basically if you get $1,000 and your wife gets, let's say, $2,000, as you can see, the green says how much is in tithe, and the tithe down here is the total tithe. And also down here is like how much you bring home net pay. And that's when you say $800 and come down here, be, let's say, $1,600. And everything adds up so you know exactly what you're doing. And now we're going to the funds page. Since there was $300 in income right here in green, if you go to the fund page, it goes right here in the blue section, tithe $300. This is the only one that does it automatically is Tithe. And if you don't want, I suggest you do it, but everyone's different. You can either do it or not. So what this does, the funds for the month, I have set up a system where you take all your bills, because some you got monthly bills, you got yearly bills, like I'll say like Amazon Prime, you pay it once a year. It's so if you just budget for it all year long, when it comes due, you'll have the money. Same with the monthly bills. And if you noticed, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. If you get paid every week, and if you do if you separate it out, like let's say rent, the amount of rent is, make it easy, $400. Then you can see over in the green, you need to put in $400. So every week, you put $100 in. As you can see, it needs to put in 3, one over here. And there it goes. Now, the reason why I did it this way is because if you get paid by weekly, there is 4 months that has 5 weeks in it. So you'll get 4 extra paydays, which you don't have to do the funds for. That'll give you extra money. If you get paid every 2 weeks, you only get 2 of those paychecks, and so on. Okay, now let's go to checking. And before I leave here, after you put all your monthly bills and yearly bills in here, you'll get a total. And that total is going to tell you how much you need per month to cover everything. That's always a nice thing to know. Now let's go to checking. As you can see, you got a red $400 because when we put that money into the budget, it takes it out. So since the gold places, you can change the beginning balance. Let's put $800 in. Now that one from -4 to 4. And how it's all set up is a check number. We'll do the check first. Let's say check number is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the amount is $100. And what's it for? Out to eat. Now, when you write the check, you know it doesn't clear the bank automatically. So, what happens is the $100 is taken out of your money up here, because that was $400, now dropped down to $300. But according to the bank, what the bank sees is the balance in the bank is $800 right here. That's what's in the bank, because you got total without funds, and you get how much is in funds. So basically what it is, when you write the check, you fill it out this far. Then when the check clears, you want to give the date it cleared. And I put it in military type, a military date. And then when you put it over here, $100, since it's cleared the bank. Now what happens, the money will stay the same, but the total in the bank will drop, because that's what it does. And now let's say you went through the ATM and withdrew $50. So I put 4 X's in there. Let's say $50. And the date, let's say 2nd. ATM. And everything Everything adjusts automatically. Now, this type right here, if you want to track this ATM money, the only thing you have to do is put 1 through 6 in. So if you want it in category 1, just put 1, hit enter, and boom, right there it automatically pops up. And if you go to the summary page, it's already right there. Now if you want to change that 1 to ATM, now when you go back to checking, it's ATM. Now when you deposit a check, I usually put the X's in there. You go to deposit, and whatever the amount is, let's say $200, the date, my pay. I can't type my pay. So when you put money in, you do not put nothing in the clear item, because that clear item takes money away. So basically, this is how it's all set up. You use the same format all the way down. And what I like about it, if you scroll down, you can see the numbers disappear, because as the numbers go up over here, that's how many rooms you have to put your information in. And what I like about it, all this stuff stays on top, so you know what's going on. Okay, let's go to savings. Now savings, what you do, whatever your balance is when you begin, let's say $75, and a deposit, let's say 25, date, and then you draw, let's say 50. As you can see, everything updates automatically, because you have the beginning balance, this is the ending balance, that should be what your bank says after everything clears. Total in, you deposit $25 and you took out 50. So it gives you a running total of how much you put in, how much you take out. Now the credit card. And of course, this is gold. And what you got to do, negative, let's say $400, turns red. And if you buy something, let's say for $50, to, let's say gas. And if you want to track it, like I said, let's say 1, just give you a quick reference. Now you got $50 over here on this one. Now you got, on checking, you got $50 on this one, but when you go to the summary page, it's $100 because it runs the total. Go back to the credit card. Let's take off the 1. And when you deposit, let's say you deposit $250. Put the deposit in. Payment. Okay. Usually when you make a payment, you get a receipt. Even online, you get a receipt. And on the receipt, there's always a number that tells you for the receipt. So what I usually do is I put the number right here, whatever it is. So for my personal reference, it's like, hey, if I put it in, I got the number and the bank never received it, I can take this number and say, hey, this is the number I have. Where's my payment? Now, credit card too is the same identical thing. Now, the loans. As you can see, you got gold over here, gold, and gold. The house payment, let's say it's $500. And then when you pay escrow out of that payment of that month, so it's like escrow is maybe like $100. Principal, let's say $200. And interest is $200. And then the balance, let's say 25,000. So what happens when you fill all this stuff out, this is linked right here to this this month end. That's for the escrow. So what happens is that escrow goes in, as you can see right on top, the amount from the previous month, the last month, you put in here. And if anything's taken out, like for house insurance or house taxes, you need to put it in there. And everything, how you say, calculates. Because if you say, I have $300 in there, and let's say I took out $200, so you see how everything just automatically updates. Now this home insurance down here, what this is, what I usually do is I put the account number for the loan, what bank it is from, the account number, and the phone number. And I do that for the loan, for the house insurance, for the taxes, if I pay the taxes with no escrow. All the information I need for a quick, easy reference. And the last one is life insurance. Some people have it, some people don't. So what it is, the name, account number, what type it is, how much, the amount, when does it end, phone number, and who. All this is information. It's a quick, easy reference for you. So if anything happens, you don't have to dig for it. It's like, boom, it's right in the budget. I look at it every month. And the medical problems is like your doctor, any special things, your pharmacy, whatever the case may be, it's here. So all the information that you need, you can put in for a quick, easy reference. Okay, now we went through the entire budget. And as you can see, everything updates automatically. Because the home, the credit card, $2,500, $50 in savings, and everything like that. So that is, as you can see, some these numbers, this is the total indebtedness, because you get 25,000 here and 200 here is $25,200. And your savings is only $50. Boom, $50. And now if you take a look at your total is 24. So basically that's like $900 difference. If you take a look up here, if you add your checking and your savings, that's $900, and that's where you get this number. Now we gotta do, I call it end of the month closeout, because this is only set up for 1 month. And what I usually do is when I do something like this, okay, I just go File, Save As, Computer, hit Browse, and wherever you do it, then I just put the month, the month I'm doing it for, the next month I'm doing it for, and the year. And then I have all these years I've been keeping my budget for since 2008. Believe me, it paid off. And after I do that, I save it. And when you save it, it's good. And then when you save it to the, how you say, go back. And then after you save it to the next month, then you got to change all this information. Basically, you got to zero these out. Then you go to income. You delete that. Delete that. Okay, after you delete that, then that's down to 0. The funds is a little bit tricky. Now, if you have your rent due at the end of the month, and if you didn't take anything out, because if you go over here, so let's take $200 out, obviously it drops down to $200. So what you got to do, the final totals, you got to transfer to the past totals. And then after you transfer the final totals to the past totals, like the $400 right here, then what you do, you got to delete this area, and then you got to delete everything you've taken out. Then when you do it that way, then everything is set. Because, because sometimes you take the bills like in the middle of the month or at the end of the month or whenever. So you can actually have the money. So when your bill is due, you got to actually just take it right out. Because let me show you. Let's say $400, the checking. As you can see, the total is for the bank. What the bank would say is $850, but what you have to spend is $450, and what's in the funds, it's $400. So if you come over here and put $400 here, then you go to checking, you can see it's down to 0. Okay, so after you change all this around, you go to checking. Before you do anything, you go to the bank balance right here, transfer this money, and put it right in the gold spot, 850. Then after you do that, then you delete all the stuff right here. Now just remember, all this black area right here, there's codes written on this black area. So if you delete any of the black area, you mess up the system. And that's why I suggest you save one program, an empty program, so you can always pull it up in case you mess it up. And then when we go to, and after you do that with checking, then you go to savings. It's the same principle. Ending balance, put it over here, $50. Then you delete all this. Then you're good to go. Now the credit is the same principle. So you take the $200 to $400, so it's negative, and then you delete everything over here like that. Remember, don't delete the black area. And delete the payment. And one other thing I think I forgot to mention earlier, the interest block. When the end of the month or the end of the pay period for your credit card, you get charged interest. So whatever interest it is, you got to put it in the amount, and you got to put the date and what it's for. Just write interest, and then you also got to put it up here in the interest block, because that's how you keep track of all your interest, because it's all linked back to the summary page over here. Because you can see there's nothing in interest. Credit card 2. So let's say $50 of interest. Let's go back to the summary page. $50 in interest. Okay. Yes, I see the problem with it. This should be credit card 1. But I'll make sure I change that. And then credit card 2. Let me see something. Yep. I just got them backwards. So the same thing you do with credit card 2. Now the loans, this is a little bit different. Before you do anything up here, before you start deleting stuff, you take the total, $200, then you transfer it up to the last month, be right here because it's in gold. So $200. And then the only thing you got to delete is the escrow, principal, and interest. And then the next statement, you got to change the balance, obviously. And everything's back set. All right, now that's how you update, or I do, I say end of the month budget. So I just create a new budget from the old one. Then after I do that, I have one more step. I call it total for the month. Totals for the month. If you take a look at the summary page, and you can see total savings, and debt. That's what these three categories are right here. The first year you do this, you just fill it out and nothing happens over here. The next year you do it, it tells you the difference. Okay, let me show you. Total for, okay, total is 24,300. Savings 50. And indebtedness, oh, this one has to be negative because it's a negative. That can also be a positive too, because when you have more money than you have debt, that become positive. Now the debt is something different. Instead of writing 25,200 negative, you just write it 25,200. Okay, and that's how you're supposed to do it. So next month or the next year, if your indebtedness goes down, let's say 14,000, negative 14,000. So you dropped to $10,000, and your savings, let's say $1,000. So you increased your savings from last year. Now your indebtedness went down to, let's say, 13,000. So your indebtedness dropped by over $12,000. So basically what I do for that is to make sure I'm going in the right direction. And that's what I usually do, because your money may look good sometimes, it may look bad the other times, but I always compare myself to the year. And if you see in red, I put 4 X's there. That's what I put for the year, like 2023. And like I said, this is my budget, and this is what I do every month. And I keep up the budget like every several days. I do the budget, and it also pays off because I can find any payment that I didn't make on the budget. It's a lot quicker. Well, yeah, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. And thank you for watching. Bye.